Nope, we're ready. We're live. We're going live right here, right now.
Yeah, we need the love vote.
No, we're actually live. Hey, everybody. We are Facebook Live right now. Chicago Music Cruise crew. As you see in the screen right now, we have Rich and Paulette.
Hello.
So we're just going to talk through some things, and if you guys would like to start out, and I'm going to swing the tripod around and just show that everyone's here.
He's such a
There's
bragger.
Becky.
He's swinging his tripod.
Here's Scott. Our MC extraordinaire. And
MC.
Mary.
Young MC.
Young MC.
Getting younger every year.
All right.
Nice.
Right now there's 15 people on, so
Do you
why don't
think everyone knows who we all are? Should we all say who we are? Introduce ourselves?
Well,
We're us.
yeah,
Who are you?
We're us.
Who are you?
Doesn't that come up at the bottom of the screen? You got the graphics package,
Yeah.
right?
I didn't tag it. I actually
The graphics package. You're a little Larry.
I didn't tag everybody in this one. I apologize, guys. But talk probably louder, a little loud.
Sure.
Not in a normal tone, and just what are we doing here?
So I'm Richie from the band Seventh Heaven, also from NTD Vacations and the Chicago Music Cruise. This is Paulette. Paulette is married to Scott. Scott sings for Hillbilly Rockstars. Becky and Jim do our photography. And Mary is with us, and Scott Childers from Star 96.7 is with us. We're missing a couple people, but throughout the series as we do these, we'll add more and more people to this. The purpose of this was we wanted to have a way for people to talk about with questions that they wanted to ask us, and we could answer them, and then put that video up and kind of try to help more and more people come and join us on this cruise. Okay, so the Chicago Music Cruise has been going about 14, 15 years now. It started out as the Seventh Heaven Cruise, and I wanted to add more bands on and have a lot of fun. And we started bringing on Hillbilly Rockstars. Came on about 5 years ago, and it's been a great time. I mean, we've enjoyed going on the ship. We play on the ship. We do a bunch of things together as a group on the ship, and we go on great ships. We go on boats that are stabilized. They don't rock.
Oh, they rock, but not in that way.
Yeah, we rock it.
Yeah.
We rock it. But it's from a standpoint of logistics. It's the best ships to go on. We're going Royal Caribbean Oasis class ships, which is the Oasis of the Seas, the Allure of the Seas, the Harmony of the Seas, and the Symphony of the Seas. We typically go on those ships because they can utilize our group the best. We have places that we can go to play. All the bands can have places to play. There's 20 restaurants on there, and 10 of them are included within the price. We go through, usually in the Caribbean, because we want to get away from cold weather in Chicago. This year we're going on the Allure of the Seas on January 19th through the 26th of 2020. We're leaving out of Fort Lauderdale. We're going to be going on to St. Martin, St. Thomas, and Coco Cay. Coco Cay is a new, it's a private destination that Royal Caribbean has that, I got these two, yeah, I got these.
I got to have your props ready.
It's for big kids, that's what it's for. So Coco Cay, I mean, I will put this graphic up when we edit the video, but Coco Cay is an amazing location. I think a destination for us to go to. We've never gone on that on any of our cruises before, and Royal Caribbean kind of bought this private island and then put millions of dollars into this port, and I think it's going to be a destination in itself for us to go to. We have flyers that we're going to have at our merch table over the summer at all the bands that are coming with at the merch table if you have questions upon that.
And we'll also put a link and comments after this video is posted for everyone, so you can click on that later.
So the thing that we wanted to do is take some questions, but we also want to talk about a few other things of what we do. If you haven't gone on one of our cruises, typically within a week, we put together this weekly guide. And the weekly guide kind of gives you an idea of activities that we're going to do that are exclusive to us, that we're booking for our group. We get group space on the ships, which means that we're allocating and saying, can we want to have this room for just our group. We want to have this place for the bands to play. We want to have this area for the dining to sit together for dinner. So being booked within the group and being booked through NTD Vacations is how that happens. If you go on the cruise, if you're booked on the cruise and you don't book through us, you're not taking advantage of all the things that we do. We have a pre-cruise party that we do in Chicago at a banquet dinner. We give away some gifts and prizes at that. We have another tell-all of things that we're going to be doing through the week. We also look for, Paulette and I go through and we try to find when a new sale comes out, we look for our guests where if we can get them a better discount, we'll re-roll you into another sale. Essentially keeping you in the same room, but just dropping your price. Most travel agents won't do that. We do that because we're doing this because we want to have a lot of people come on the cruise with us. So this weekly guide that we'll give you, we build this up over the next 6 months. And then at the pre-cruise party we have it. We also put it up online. It tells you, the first column will tell you all the events that we're doing that are exclusive to our group. The second line is kind of like activities that we have on the ship that we think are worth going to, and majority of the people tell us they like and they go to, and you don't have to have a reservation. And the bottom one are the Broadway shows that are there that are being offered to go to. So
You guys need to sit back, relax. They need to sit back and relax, right?
I'll fall asleep if I sit back and relax. Although I do have my water. I'm happy with my
I
water.
got my Dunkin'.
Sponsored
I need
by
my
Dunkin'.
sponsor.
So you know, the ship has a bunch of really cool things to offer in the sense of, on this one we're going on, there's a Mamma Mia's on there, the Broadway musical, and it's the whole musical that you go on. It's free. It's included within the ticket. Ocean area is like it's an aqua theater show similar to Cirque du Soleil where it's part out of water and part in water. There's a bunch of ice games in Studio B. There's an ice skating rink on the ship. The ship is 4 football fields long, holds 9,000 people, 18 stories tall, 8-lane freeway wide, and it's broken down into 7 neighborhoods.
So I'm going to just cut you just for a second because I'm going to ask the first question.
Sure.
We can put all this on the information that gets sent out in emails. So maybe, let them know you'll get an email that's a welcome email.
Yeah, we sent out a welcome email.
And then all this kind of info will be in there. And then let's pull in the questions of how does a band get in touch with you guys, with the group.
Yeah, why do we go on that ship? Because they can do
why
that
are bands on there? Maybe talk about
Sure.
those kind of things, because this is mapped out more for the week itself,
Right.
not necessarily
The new people.
information for the
Right.
new people.
I'm letting them. I want people to know though that you're booking on a cruise and you're not just now you're on a cruise. You have nothing to do. We're going to give you
Right.
things to do with our group.
Perfect.
It's not just you're not just going on a cruise. You're going on an experience with a group of people that's organized as a group within our travel agency, so that will help guide you how to go through the whole process. Not, and you don't have to be at every one of the things that we do. If a day we're having a scavenger hunt, you don't want to go, and you want to lay out on deck that whole day, or go swimming, then just do that. You don't have to be at all of our activities. They're offered for you to come. But I do want people to know that you're just not signing up on a cruise. You're coming on to be around a bunch of people, and we have mini groups that sign up. We have many families where the husband and wife come, the kids come. We have a lot of kids that come on our ship. My children come on the ship. I have and they're going to be 5 and 8 now, but they come on our boat on the ship, and there's a bunch of neighbors that come on. So the kids are on with a bunch of their friends from school. I'm sure the school loves me for that.
In total, how many is in the group?
So this last year we booked 380 roughly. That we had 380 or 386 somewhere in that range, but we had over 400 people that were in our group that were with us. The problem is if they book and they don't go through our website ChicagoMusicCruise.com or through NTD Vacations to have us represent you and take care of you, we can't legally take care of you. We're not supposed to help you. Not that we don't want to help you, we just can't legally. And that presents a problem. So every time we go on a cruise, there's a group of people that will book outside the group, and then we can't help them. We can't re-roll them to give them a better price. Usually they lock down a price and they don't get a refundable deposit. They can't refund, they can't get their money back, and they're stuck at that higher rate. We can get better rates for you and keep re-rolling you all the way up until the point. And some people, we don't have to re-roll because our group pricing is so low that we leave those alone. But there's sometimes where you're a triple and you're a couple with a child, and there might be a kids go free promo, and that might be cheaper to re-roll you in that. And we look for the best deal. And Paulette and I are on top of our game about knowing exactly, this sale comes out Friday, this sale comes out next week, this one ends only for a weekend only. And we see those. In fact, on the last cruise we went on, we had somebody booking a grand suite for $10,000, and then a sale came on, we re-rolled them and saved them $5,000. That's a significant savings, and normally you would not have that happen. So being booked through the Chicago Music Cruise a website helps us help you, and then it gets you seating with us and dining, helps you know where the activities are, and it helps us a lot to do it. But it is, I want people to be booked through our travel agency so we can help you.
What is Royal Academy, and what does that have your title fit in
So,
there?
Paula and I are both master agents where we had to go through schooling. We had to get certified through the Royal Caribbean schooling. That tells you, we have to go through quizzes and lessons upon everything about not only the ships themselves, the ports, the process, how to be a travel agent. And both Paula and I are certified to be master agents. It's time consuming. It's something that you go through just like anything else and any other thing. We have a big staff of people, but not everybody has to be certified because Paulette and we're the ones that are going to do the booking. Everybody else, we have a team of people that help out, but we're the two that do the processing for the booking. Usually I do them in the middle of the night when everyone's sleeping, and Paulette does them in the day when everyone's awake.
So if you ever need to get a hold of us, you can always call, and 99% of the time you'll reach me.
Yeah, so emailing to the info@ntdvacations.com, that email comes and we both see that. We also, if you call the 800 number that we have, when you call that number, it'll ring in a succession. If I'm not available, it'll go Paulette, it'll go to Alan, so forth. So that using that Grasshopper number helps a lot too. And if not, you just leave a message and we'll call you right back.
Or always shoot us an email.
Yeah, and what the Chicago Music Cruise really is I looked at it like I've been going on cruises since I was 6 years old, since my kids started going on. Actually, my kids started going on them at 1, so they're like Diamond plus members. But I've always liked I like cruises. I like that everything's there for the option for you to take. If you want to go on the layout, you can do that. You want to go to the casino, want to go to a show, want to get this kind of food, want to get that kind of food, want to relax and do nothing, want to be active, want to be around a bunch of friends. I like that option for what you want to do with your time. And everybody seems to be happy when we go on these cruises. It's a great week to get away and watch people just have a great time together.
Talk about the brand and the reason that.
So the Chicago Music Cruise, when I would go on it with Sabbath Heaven, we went on. Before I went on it without my band, I always dreamed of bringing my band on. Finally, we brought our band on, and it became such a great thing. I said, I want more bands to feel what this is like. It's a great experience to get close with friends and family and fans and get them to feel like they're part of a family. And it's so much. There's so many positive things to that.
So in reference to what Scott just asked, how did the Chicago Music Cruise come about? It was the Seventh Heaven Cruise.
Yeah.
And you changed it to the Chicago Music Cruise 4 years ago.
Yeah, I changed it because I didn't think that people wanted. I wanted more bands to come on, and I didn't want them to think this was just self-serving Seventh Heaven. My band, I have a great group of people within Seventh Heaven, band and crew, a great bunch of people. But I wanted people to not be apprehensive to join it thinking, oh, we're just promoting Seventh Heaven. I wanted them to feel like they're part of something bigger than Seventh Heaven in the sense of a group cruise and a vacation. And so that's why I thought it'd be smart to change the brand and instead of having me a particle within the Chicago Music Cruise.
We're all Chicago based.
And we're all Chicago bands, like a lot of people that are just in this ecosystem. I think it's a great thing to have.
And-
I asked Scott to come on, and they were gracious enough to come on to Hillbilly Rockstars, and it was a great time, and we had so much fun together, and we've become a lot closer,
Yes.
just through it. Not only us as a band, but our fans together.
Yeah, they all got to know each
We all
other.
got to know each other. So when we're playing up north. Somewhere and they're playing up south, our fans are down south will go see Hillbilly, their fans might come see us on the north, and we swap, and we both benefit from that, and we made a lot of new friendships out of that.
Yeah.
And that's such a positive thing. You don't get that many things in life where you can have such positive aspects from that. Scott's coming in.
Absolutely, coming in.
Yeah. So this year, along with Hillbilly Rockstars, we had Infinity.
We had Infinity and Gerald and Camille, who came on, and then those are the musicians. We had Scott.
Let's keep it
We'll
band.
keep it on the band.
Yep. So the bands got together. They did jam sessions. They
Sure.
did individual.
Right.
How are the shows taken overall for the?
So much fun.
That was fun.
Yeah,
It
we
was
were
fun.
in Dazzles, and literally we had just about every band member play with each other. And it sounds a little funny, but on stage, and just jam. I mean, literally, it was like, hey, let's get Richie up.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get Scott up. You know what? Let's get the girls up to sing. I mean, it was just all about good times with good people, which is what I'm all about. What Rich
Yeah.
is all about. I know I say that over and over again, but it's the truth.
Truth is true.
You know,
Yeah, it was,
And Dazzles is what kind of room? What is it? What is Dazzles?
it's a nightclub atmosphere.
yeah, it's like a typical nightclub
Yeah.
atmosphere. We played in Dazzles. We played in Studio B, which is a mini arena, kind of like almost similar to like an Allstate Arena, but a smaller version.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we played the Aqua Theater, which is like a Poplar Creek
Yeah.
or
That was-
we're aging
Poplar
ourselves.
Creek. No, that's a great way
But
to
we're
describe
aging
it.
ourselves. We got like Alpine
Okay,
Valley. What's
okay,
the one
mini
down-
Alpine Valley. Let's go.
What's the
mini
one
Alpine.
down south? What's the one by your one?
Hollywood Casino.
Hollywood Casino.
Yeah, well, they've changed the name so many times.
Because money talks.
So
And
Aqua Theater.
then we played the Royal Theater as well, which is kind of like playing like the Vic Theater or almost like the one of the big Oriental Theater downtown or Chicago Theater downtown. So you're playing in a theater,
Yeah.
an arena, and an outdoor arena, and then a nightclub. That's what we did on this last cruise. So that was a lot of fun. Well, it was pretty awesome.
One thing that's really exciting to me that Richie brought up is this actually helps each band like build their draw. Like we are building our draw, through each other. We've got a bunch of fans that are like, yeah, we went and saw Seventh Heaven last week, and they're all our fans originally that they never saw Seventh Heaven. Now they're like, oh God, we love going to see them, and then the next week they come see us. So I mean, this is just what he calls the ecosystem of the bands, and it's helping each other out and bringing people together. So like some of his fans that are loyal fans and some of my loyal fans have become best friends on the
Yeah,
ship,
that's true.
and now they want to be next to each other on the ship, and they're hanging out with each other at all the shows.
Dating.
Yeah, wait. We won't even go there. We won't even talk about the 3 a.m. hot tub.
Stays on the ship.
So in that regard, though,
The 3 a.m. hot tub. That's all I'm saying.
in that regard, though, that's 400
Someone's
Chicago
calling now.
fans,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What about the fans that are on the ship itself that have no idea what Chicago Music Cruise are? How do
I
they?
gotta bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last cruise that we did with them, because this is our third, we're going on our fourth now. The last cruise, we met people from Ohio, we met people from Canada, and some of them actually booked and were with us the next year. And it was unbelievable. So we're learning, that people, and then we're getting our name out there. In fact, we're playing in Ohio this year for the first time because the couple that booked from Ohio went to one of the local clubs and told them about us in Columbus. And we're playing Columbus and we're playing Coldwater, Ohio from the cruise. So, and they're big paying gigs, guys, just saying. Seriously, I would have never gotten that had I not been on the Chicago Music Cruise.
That's awesome.
So as a band, how does a band that wants to go on the cruise next get in touch with you and say, hey, consider us for the next
Well,
cruise?
it was
You can inbox
Yeah,
me. I mean, inbox you, inbox.
If you go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com and the contact info at NTD Vacations, just email us and we'll review it. The only thing is, really, I think we pretty much let almost any bands come on as long as it's not, death metal thrash band that's
Yeah.
going to swear up a storm.
It's gotta be family friendly, yeah.
But even that, we could probably put in Dazzles at 1 a.m. and rock out. But
We'll rent out a separate room for you.
I'll get up and play some Slayer.
That'd be awesome,
I've been Metallica.
I'm in.
And then also on the Chicago Music Cruise webpage, you have a link under the bands tab, correct?
Yeah.
They can go to and fill out.
Yeah, if you go to the bands, we want to get more bands on, and we want to get that figured out over the next month and a half because we're going to need to go and make a marketing flyer that we go through for the summer that all the bands have, that kind of tells people what's on the ship, and it's to the band's benefit to be on this flyer and be in our marketing. You could decide to join in October, but you missed out on an opportunity for you to be on marketing flyers that all of us are going to have, and we're going to be giving away for people. And the impression rate that you're going to have from a marketing standpoint, it definitely helps the band because there's times where you're teaching people about your new band, and I don't understand why a band would not want to go on it. It makes no sense to me. I would go,
After
probably
going, I highly recommend
could
it.
probably and probably even write it off under the taxes of the band of what you earn. Did I say that?
Okay, so we're at 20,
Yeah, I didn't write the tax
The
laws.
IRS is on there.
It's all right. The government ain't doing anything right now. Anyways,
That's
other
true,
than arguing and fighting. While we're on a cruise, drag it out.
Yeah, no doubt.
so this is
Let's make Chicago Music Cruise great again.
It was never that great.
Exactly.
so we're at 7:25. Let's finish up with the band. We got 5 minutes, and
Yes.
then we'll go through some other things. A couple of questions. Sticking in the marketing side of it, what does that? When a band comes on and you'll send them all the info once they sign up, you send them a welcome email that has all the details and they can read that. But the marketing side of it that you just said, putting them on the flyers, putting them in there, is there an extra?
Radio.
Right.
I mean, you're giving all kinds of exposure. It's
Yeah.
like
Is there
crazy.
extra
Social
charge to
media.
that to the
There's no
bands, or is
structure to
that
the band.
part of?
If your band is part of it, you benefit from that.
Yes.
And even some bands can go on and not be the full complete band too. Infinity didn't have every band
No, we
member
had
on, so
3
we
out of 6.
so we had the ability to fill in the gaps with other musicians. So
Which was a blast.
that's fine.
Right,
I
right.
got to play some classic rock tunes that I don't get to play all the time.
Yeah.
That's all.
And you got to play with other bands and do a jam session.
Oh, we have fun.
Yeah, it's
we
fun.
love it. A lot of times we get so used to doing what we do in our band world, where we go and we play. You forget the love of music, and that's a great part. That you get up there and you're like you're just having a fun playing your music again. There's no expectation of your draw or how much money you're going to make or any of that. You're just having fun jamming tunes.
Absolutely. Even and we always the karaoke bar we always take over.
Oh yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's pretty funny.
We have nothing but musicians. Me and Mike Boucher are starting a duo. Just so you know, we're gonna need you to book us, okay?
All right, that's right.
It's a country duo.
So
Like a Campbell tribute band.
It is pretty funny because when the Crokies happens, the singers will go in there, and in all fairness, there's professional singers that go in and sing against people who are just hobbyists, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're great! You can sing really good." In fact, I'll tell you a funny story. One time I was on the cruise with John Cicada, and I got John Cicada. I go, "Do me a favor, just go up and sing your own song." I'm like, "You sound just like that guy."
Nice.
That's actually the guy who sang the song.
For those who don't know who that is, who
John,
is-
John Cicada. I Will Always Love You, I want to say was his song.
Just another day.
Just Another Day. Angel.
Free Angel.
Yeah.
that's
We
awesome.
got a lot of them.
It's pretty fun.
Late.
All right, so I think we covered the band section pretty well. Is there any questions that came up? I know there was a couple because I saw a couple come
Somebody
up.
answered them already.
Oh.
They were
Oh well,
quick.
we're gonna ask. Don't answer them, so we
they
can
didn't
No,
answer
I'm
them.
not.
Somebody
so
else
we
answered
can talk to them about them out live, so people can all hear them and hear the answers.
Somebody asked about Cocoa Keys, if it's included in, if there's any additional charges such as zip lining and things like that.
Yes.
And they said it's
Well, we're
included
gonna
in
bring
the
Mary
special.
Yeah, some are
Are
and
you
some
Yep.
available,
yeah.
Mary, or no?
Mary, are you ready, or are you done with your call?
Excursions are extra, anything.
Are you ready to come up to the seat,
gotta
or
come
are
up
you
to
on
the
your
seat.
call?
You have to take over. You're taking my spot.
All right, we're gonna bring Mary up to answer a couple of those
We'll be right back.
excursion
Excursions,
questions.
Bye, guys.
Well, you're not leaving.
Right?
Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Mary, what's your name? Who are you, and what do you do for the Chicago Music Cruise?
Mary, I work with the for the excursions for now, and I'm actually gonna
Hotels.
Yeah,
and-
hotels and
The ho-
and
helping out with
flights.
the hotels, and then hopefully putting together some group airfare for flying into Florida.
And
So,
you can be reached by Mary at
Mary at
ntdvacations.com.
ntdvacations.com. Yes.
Right on. So the question that came up was again Coco
Is
Cay.
the price of the Coco Key included in the price of the cruise or an extra?
No, that's extra. Anything
Well,
over and above.
No, a
Every
Coco
general
Cay,
admission
Coco
to Coco
Cay,
Cay is included.
admission to the island is
island's open,
included,
yeah.
but it actually is listed in the flyer.
There's a bunch of
There's
non-options.
so I should have my readers with us.
Let me see, my glasses. are-
So
I'm upstairs.
what's complimentary? Complimentary is the Splashaway Bar, the
You're in it.
Captain's Jack Galleon, the let's see what else, the Chill Island, the South Beach on the beaches, the Skipper's Grill, the Chill Grill, and the Snack Shacks. A la carte is Captain Jack's. That's for drinks if you want. There's a admission fee if you want to go to the Cocoa Beach Club. There's an adventure fee for the zip line and the Up and Up Away, which is a hot air balloon. And there's an admission charge to the Thrill Water Park. So half of it is included, half of it is not. I don't know why they wouldn't just include it personally myself. But there's got to be probably a reason. They probably have a limitation on what they can handle. Oh, I got my readers.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Are these mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So.
Do you see anything
We're all
different?
getting old.
He's a rock star with readers. I am. I'm getting old. Let me go on another cruise.
So, oh, I'm sorry. Were you done with that?
No, so I mean that's so half of it is included within, and half of it has a fee.
So-
I mean, there's restaurants on there that, and there's dining that's complimentary. It looks like there's 3 places to get complimentary food on the island, and you could go on the beach. You can go on 2 different beaches. And you could go to a couple thrills that are also included, Splashaway Bay and the Captain Jack's Galleon. So there are.
So
you can go for free. To the
Yeah, you can get off the ship,
Yeah.
go to Coco Cay, enjoy some of those things that are on Coco Cay.
Coco Key.
Coco Cay or Coco
That's
Key?
K.
Key.
Coco.
Coco
Somebody said
Cay.
it was pronounced Key.
Oh.
I don't know.
And then once you're there, if you want to do any of the extra stuff, that's part of the excursion packages
Correct.
Yeah.
that you find when you're either on ship or prior to, correct?
Correct, right. And I'll post the available excursions.
Yeah, we're still working
with the
on it.
pricing, but we're still working right for the final list to come out. So
Right. So when the cruise gets put together and they get their welcome letter and they get their sign in and logins, then they're going to go to RoyalCaribbean.com, put all their information in, and they can see all the excursions as well, correct?
right, I'll provide a link directly to the excursions for each port.
Perfect.
Yeah, and we'll try and get. Hopefully, we can try and get some group rates on some of
Yeah.
the excursions for the next cruise.
Okay,
So-
this is another question that came in. I want to verify both the shuttle and the ship has a way for a wheelchair to get on both things, correct?
Yes.
Wheelchair accessible.
There are wheelchair accessible rooms. Those rooms you want to book those as soon as possible. There's a limitation of them on the ship, and they book up right away.
How many, we had what, 4 wheelchair access this year? Or
I think we had 4
3?
people in our
Yeah.
group that were wheelchair. And even some rooms are full wheelchair accessible, and then some you can have a wheelchair and not. And if you're able to, some people are able to still walk. They just have a bad knee or a bad leg or something, and they don't have to be in a wheelchair accessible room, but they get a scooter and go around the ship on a scooter, but they're in a regular room. That can happen too. So there's scooters available. I think for a rental. What do you know, Paula? What the rental is for a scooter? I
The
don't remember.
scooter rentals, you rent them outside of
Yeah,
the
the
ship,
cruise.
but
Yeah.
we have that information if anyone
Yeah, so we have
needs
that
it.
information. The things you want to book right now are any rooms that are triples, quads, and with wheelchair. Those right away, you want to grab those right away. And we're going to sell out of our group space probably on this ship more than we've ever had before, because normally when we go on the cruise, we normally will sell the people that are on the ship currently and book for the next one. We put them in what's called prevailing rate and then book everybody thereafter in group rate. In this case, our group rate were lower than prevailing, and that means a lot of people took our group rate rooms that were on the ship, which we haven't had happen in any other year that we've had to this amount. So that tells me that we're going to probably sell out of our group space rooms, which is something why I'm going to tell people, like, sign up, grab a room while you can. And our group rate rooms are refundable, that you can get refundable. If you book outside of us, it's usually not refundable.
Up until October.
Up until October.
On Coco Cay or any of the excursions, are the drink packages able to be used there?
Yes.
Yes,
So you can,
on Coco Cay, but not on St. Thomas, not St. Mark.
Right.
Yeah, not separate excursions.
so
but,
Coco
yeah.
Cay.
But in Chicago, it's at some
Yeah,
bar.
sure.
Dirty Nelly says, like, give us the card.
Well, this Coco Cay is owned by Royal Caribbean.
Right.
So that's the,
Yeah,
And they bring all the
connection.
food off. You want to talk about how they do that when you
Yeah.
get there? It's pretty cool. With
they still do that, huh? They
Yeah.
bring all the food up on the island?
Actually, they have restaurants on the islands.
So they have restaurant, Royal
Yeah.
Caribbean
Yeah.
have their own restaurants on the island, so whatever you have on the ship, you'll be able to use on Coco Cay.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add, Mary?
No, I'm working on getting some group rates and maybe a charter out of Chicago into
When you say
Fort
charter, what do you mean by charter?
Meaning the entire plane.
Okay, so airline charter.
Correct.
So
for the flights.
prices
yeah.
will be less. We'll have a
Prices will
group
be
go on.
less. We could work with the down payment. Everybody will have time to pay for their ticket instead of paying for it all up front. So it's a little too soon to have pricing. So within a couple of months, I'll have more information and I'll post it online.
Yeah. And we've talked about even having a charter go to Fort Lauderdale and then one go to Orlando.
Right.
Because the ship is sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, but because we're leaving on a Sunday, some people want to take advantage of the weekend. So we're looking at options to see the interest, how many people want to go to Disney World because they have the new Star Wars and Toy Story section, and that a lot of people are interested in seeing, and Universal Studios for the Harry Potter. So we're going to get a gauge and see how many people want to go, and if we have enough that we think we can charter a flight to Orlando, we're going to do that as well. But we're still getting a head count on that. If you have interest to do that, let us know because we're going to get group space at Disney World for resort, and then if we have enough, we'll do a charter, and then we have to do a charter shuttle from Orlando to Fort Lauderdale to grab the ship on the day of sail. So that's another option.
And you'll be sending emails out with all that kind of information.
So flight information doesn't come. It's typically about 6 to 8 months out. And we're too far out from that for the airlines to have that figured out. And for our gauge of Disney, we've got time on that as well because we're in the booking process, and we'll get a gauge as we book on how much we want to utilize. How many people are going? Do we have 100 people? Do we go 200 people? Do we have 50? And so we need to have a number to get it'll evolve itself.
And that's an important aspect of what you guys are talking about.
Yes.
Is having people reply to those emails.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
know
Reply
the
to our
counts.
welcome emails, right? The welcome email and my updates are very critical. I know there's some formalities within the email, but there's a lot of critical information that I'm going to put in there that's going to help Paulette and I and Mary and all of us take care of you and to know what's our head count on an excursion, what's our head count at Disney, Universal, chartered flights, shuttles, hotels, all those things come into play after you're booked on the cruise. We'll take care of that for you. You just have to communicate with us what you need from us, and we'll get there. Right now, we're focusing on the cruise for a few months and trying to get down all the bands that are going to be on that. If we're going to add more bands, and then get our marketing in play, and then we'll start getting all these other things will start coming into play. We're negotiating with hotels right now to make sure that we have group space hotels, not only in Fort Lauderdale, but in Orlando and Fort Lauderdale, because the people that want to do things in Orlando. Because we're going to be there. Some people want to go down Thursday night or Friday and spend Friday, Saturday in Orlando, or you could even do that in Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale,
Right, you
yeah.
can just want to do it in Fort Lauderdale.
I'm looking for resort rates right on the beach in Fort Lauderdale if you want to get there a day or two early. So
Sure.
we'll have rates available on those type of things.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch a little bit. Mary, I'm going to pull you out, and I'm
Scott.
going to pull the Master MC Extraordinary.
Radio.
Mr. Radio
Fantastic.
voice.
How are you? How are
Very
you?
Fantastic.
Well, Z had asked what airlines. We're working on American and United.
American United, most likely American.
Right.
And somebody asked a grant question. Did you see
Yeah,
that one?
gratuities and insurance. Your insurance is depending on your total room. It's,
Go behind them. Sorry.
I don't like being on camera, guys, sorry.
That's all right.
Your gratuities is $101.50 per person. When you're in the suites, they're slightly higher. The insurance is $59 to $89 per person. You can add it at your booking, at time of booking, or you can go ahead and add it later on up until final payment. Once you reach final payment, it's not allowed to be added on. You have to go through a third-party insurance company.
Right on. All right, so in front of us now we have the mighty, the illustrious voice of.
Star 96.7 and the Chicago Music Cruise as well. And I actually have my voice back too, so which is good. And yes, and of course the voice of NTD Vacations.
Scott Childers.
Good to see you. Good to be here. Yes.
Scott Childers. So
Yes.
what we just got off the ship 4 weeks ago or so. What is your thought process over the last 4 weeks of what we just did?
It's well, first of all, for those who haven't been, it really is amazing, and I think what we put together this last year is really something special. I know that Scott had alluded to that as well, and we've been on the cruise many years now, and while it's been great, I think this component of adding different bands, which is almost like different neighborhoods. It's very similar to the ship.
Yeah.
When you think about whether you're in, Central Park, or if you're on the boardwalk, or if you're on the promenade, that's kind of what we have established here with Gerald and Camille come up. Wow, they had such a fantastic reception, and they were awesome.
Yeah.
And I think they got a lot of new fans because of being able to see them. A lot of people maybe hadn't seen Infinity up close. They had a chance to really get what they're doing.
Yeah,
and see
I
how
had
they grow.
I had a few fans go see them to support them over the last weekend.
And we were talking earlier about how Scott had mentioned playing in different states, playing in Ohio and what have you. I met a couple that was on the cruise. They were actually on last year, and they had a great time because they had just kind of found their way into one of the clubs where the bands were playing. And they thought, what is this? And they didn't know because it wasn't on their itinerary. So they came in and somebody asked some questions, and they found out who we were, and right away they booked right away, and they were there this year. And you might remember them. I'm sure a bunch of you saw them, that they were just having a great time in Dazzles, and that's what it's all about. We spoke to many people all across the ship, some from Michigan, some from Colorado, different states, and they all came in, and that's what I think makes this really cool, because we're almost turning this into a national thing in a way. I know you're thinking, oh crap.
Hey, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'd love to take over the whole ship.
I say, can we charter the ship? That would be fun.
Let's charter the ship. We only need like another 4,000 of them.
Yeah. So ChicagoMusicCruise.com book.
Soon it'll be America Music Cruise.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Get that one going.
We have a lot of really cool ideas. We talked about even doing stuff with radio,
Right.
and broadcasting little things, podcasts and things from the
Right.
ship.
We were thinking about doing something a little different this next time around. Is maybe bringing some of this to you live. I mean, we want everybody to go, but we understand that some people maybe can't go for whatever reasons, and bringing a little bit more of this to you, so that we almost come up with little broadcasts when we go to the various venues.
While we're tanning.
Yeah.
and eating.
Yes.
and drinking.
We'll be tanning while enjoying a hot dog right there on the boardwalk.
In the hot tub.
So Richie,
So we're here. That's good. Should we go get another shake?
Did I mention we did not have to deal with the polar vortex?
We did not.
Oh, yes,
And
we
boy,
have. Yeah.
I came back and
Did we
everybody
hear
was
about
giving me a
that?
hard time.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, boy, Richie sure picked a good week to go.
I should have went right to the casino with that much luck and gambled, and I
How
did.
about it?
I didn't gamble
Everybody
at all.
came back.
Yeah.
Wow, Richie couldn't have picked a better week to go. I'm like, well, what can I tell you?
Well, that was part of that decision.
All right, Scott, this is probably a good one for you to be part of. Richie and you guys, here we go. Top 5 things you can say to a nervous cruise virgin. Somebody that's never been on a cruise before. And keep in mind, talking about Chicago Music Cruise and what the 400 of us bring to the table for that
Right.
person that's
And
hanging
I
out with
also want to
fans.
say, as Richie has mentioned, we have our list of everything we do, but this is only a few hours out of the day.
Yeah.
You have 24 hours a day on the
Yeah.
ship, and believe me, there is more than enough to do. So you will get that cruise experience.
Yeah.
I would say number one is just all these fascinating areas to go see. First of all, you've got a water slide on there. You have I can't even remember how many hot tubs off the top of my head. You have swimming pools.
All
you have
fresh water.
Fresh.
Open 24 hours.
Right, exactly, because
rider.
the flow rider as well.
What's the flow rider?
Zip line,
Miniature golf.
the flow rider.
Yeah, what's the flow rider?
Well, he's a guy that's in Florida, and no, just kidding. So the flow rider, I don't know how would you want to.
It's two
like a
surfing. It's two surfing machines.
Yeah.
One you can bodyboard, one you can surf. And so there's two of them on the ship. We rent them out for an hour, and we use it exclusively just for our group. So that way that we make sure that people that are going in our group are taken care of, and will experience that within the week that they're on.
So-
and we videotape you, so
Yeah.
when you fall, if we want to make fun of you,
We'll capture the
have
moment.
Video of you in slow motion,
So-
going down.
So you did say that the question was a nervous cruise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
First
are you
time
nervous?
nervous.
The reason,
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
thing I can think of is they're probably afraid of the ship or what it's
Oh.
all about. What I can tell you is this is like
Rapid.
a Cadillac. It's the Cadillac of cruise ships. We've been on Carnival, we've been on Norwegian. I mean, we did all this, and Richie's like, no, you don't
They're
get
not
it. These guys have stabilizers. It's state of the art.
Yeah.
These ships are engineered differently. In fact, one of my cousins who goes on this cruise refused. I'm not going. Oh my gosh, Scott. Yeah, Lisa, you know who you are. There's no way. So
She's on number
she
4.
yeah, she got the patch,
Patches were
because she
great.
was worried about it. And guess what? She cruises every year.
Yeah.
She loves it. And it's just great to have her on board because it is not a typical
Oh, yeah.
cruise ship. I like to call it Woodfield Mall on Water.
It really
It
is.
really is, Rich,
Yeah.
is it not? I
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, a couple things about that is I could tell you is that from the stability of the ship, it doesn't rock as much as any other ship because
No.
there's stabilizers. There's no rudder system on the ship from the middle of the ship to back. There's just electrical piping going to azipods which pull the ship versus push the ship. And because of that technology being on the ship, there's 6 engines on an Oasis class ship. One can control the whole ship. Most ships don't have that. If the ship, you hear about a ship broken down at sea, the engine went down and
Carnival,
sucked.
they couldn't flush the toilet.
Happens all the time. on a Royal Caribbean ship, there's 6 engines, so the redundancy factor is very, very good. And because there's no rudder system, think of it like a transmission. You don't have vibration on the ship, and you also are able to have stabilizers which ride the ship. So unless we were in really high waves and hurricane waters, you really wouldn't feel that. And even that, the ship can outrun a hurricane. And then from the health standpoint of your health, there's a full hospital on ship with a full pharmacy. Then they take care of you. In fact, I've been on about 25 ships, 25 different cruises, and I can tell you that on an Oasis class, I've never seen anybody physically get sick on a cruise.
Oh, not from that.
Not from an Oasis
no.
Club. So, from motion or anything like that. And then from stability, I think with us, you're around a bunch of people that are going to calm you as well. You calm your nerves. When you're around friends and family,
You're not thinking about
like being alone. You're not alone. You're with hundreds of people, and we're together.
It's
so
impossible to be alone with us.
And we'll hold you up too.
3 o'clock in
think
the
you're gonna
morning, we're
fall,
in the
we'll hold you
promenade,
up.
and this guy's ordering room service. So.
yeah.
What about that other extreme of there are so many people on the ship?
So,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And for 9,000 people being on a ship, and of that 3,000 crew, 6,000 passengers, they break this into 7 categories. And I can tell you the irony of the whole thing is that actually they manage the people much better on a larger ship because there's multitude of venues going on at once. You have a show going on the ice skating, you got one in the Aqua Theater, you got one in the Royal Theater, you've got a thing going on at Dazzles, you got things going on in the casino, you got things going on in the mall, and everything's broken up. And that's on this weekly. I bring this up because it's kind of important because I let you experience the cruise itself, and we intersect between all of that because I don't want our activities to have you miss what a typical passenger would get. I wanted to accentuate the week. So I make sure that all of our activities are are not gonna conflict with other things and what to do. And by booking your show, for example, you're gonna go see Mamma Mia on this ship. You're gonna pick your day and time. I'll tell you what I would suggest to go and what day to go and time. And your seats are already there taken. You've already reserved them. You don't have to stand in I call them like cattle calls, where you're standing in a line. Other than the very first day getting on the ship at the Windjammer could be a little crowded, and leaving the ship throughout the whole week, you really don't experience that through the week. You're not constantly being shuffled around, and I like that a lot better. That's actually a big selling point to me of an Oasis class ship, is how it handles people and when you have restaurants, when you have 20 options, 20 different places to go eat food, and you can take 10 of them that are included. They even have a barometer setting on a digital signage that will tell you, based upon body heat in a room, how populated the room is, to know, wow, let's go grab a sandwich. Nobody's really in this restaurant. Boom, take me there, and you can go there.
Also, the boarding and deboarding is
Yeah, I was-
amazing.
So even during
Yeah.
excursions, right?
Yeah, but just to talk about just boarding the ship, one of the things that Royal has changed in the last few
They got
years
it down to a science.
is as there's staggered boarding now. So when you get your boarding pass or you get your certificate, in the email, it will tell you what time your suggested boarding is. And the reason is but for that same reason. You get into Port Everglades or you get into the Port of Miami, and you've got 6 or 8 other ships there at the same time in addition to us. So it's not just our ship,
it's like
but
20,
you've
30,000
got
people.
all these other ships. So what they've done is, rather than having these people wait in line and invariably get upset, is they've staggered the time. So maybe your time is at 11 o'clock, maybe Mary, yours is 11:30, and the same thing over and
Best
over.
boarding I've ever experienced.
Yeah, you're out in
exactly.
10 minutes.
And it was very,
No
very
10
crowds, nothing.
On other lines, I've stood in line for an hour and a half, and I'm like,
Yep.
well, this isn't fun.
Well, one of the other things that they have done,
Who wants to start their vacation
Right.
like that? You know what I mean?
Totally true.
one of the other things they did to expedite this year as well is that in the past, when you would board, they would take your picture while you're standing in line. Now they've changed it that you can provide an approved picture and actually have that ready. You walk up to the counter and they've already got your sign and sale cards ready to go.
Yeah, they're like, there you go.
Yeah,
Have fun.
you're ready to
Have
go.
a nice sailing.
Scott, no offense, but stop using your college pic, dude.
Oh, no.
I don't know how you got that approved.
to the person that had the fear, did we cover what your question was, or is there another thing that we're not covering of a topic within your fear?
For your nerves.
For your nerves.
Yep. And if that comes up, I'll let you know.
And I would
Michael,
also say that we have so many people with so much cruise experience that no question is a dumb question. Every question is important. So please don't feel like you don't want to ask it, because
Oh,
we're
absolutely.
all happy to answer these questions.
And we have a help desk every single day on the ship.
Yeah.
So every single day, there's a place for you to go to. We allocate a half hour on that.
Show them where that's at.
Like, so, yeah, on the schedule, you'll see that. I'll point this out at the pre-cruise party. But there's a line in here that just tells you where the help desk time and location is every day for if you have a question. I need something else. Plus, you're around us. You'll see us all
Yeah.
every day. You can't miss us, Pretty
Michael,
much are telling you
Even
where
if
we're
you
going
want
to be.
to.
Anywhere there's food, you'll find us.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
you guys will find out what that is.
It's kind of weird. All 3 of us are doing
They trained us well.
Hey, man.
Michael Carpenzano.
Oh, I love Michael. You better vote for him.
Yeah, vote for him in
Bolingbrook.
Bolingbrook, right.
Great time.
Brought his
He's gonna be the mayor one day.
16-month-old and said had the time of his life.
Yeah,
Right.
awesome.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, so we have like 10 minutes left. I know we started late, but
I think, Jim,
I'm
you
gonna
need to come
pull
up and
Becky
say,
and I.
Becky, you're next.
amazing.
I'm gonna pull you out back.
Yes, come on. Becky, come
So
on.
Jim and Becky come on, and they shoot awesome photos of us, and they not only do they take pictures, they even break it up into albums, and they take pictures of us through the week at doing everything from formal nights to being out on the islands, and they do an amazing job. I'll let you guys tell more what you do, but it's pretty cool because this whole book is dedicated to all of our shows and all of our things and all the things, activities we do through the week. But you don't, when you go on a typical cruise, you don't get this. You have to shift. If you ever bought the picture while you're on board, it's that memory's over with. So I'll let you guys talk about what you do.
So, Rich, first of all, thank you for having us on the cruise
Oh, I love
a few years ago. This will be our 4th cruise next, which is great. And that's what we do. We get on the cruise and we keep our cameras in our hands, pretty much the whole thing, and take photos of no matter what you're doing, where you're at on the ship.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Within reason.
But we do offer things like weddings. If you're getting married or planning on getting married, we'll do that. We did a wedding last year, not this past one, but the year before. And that was great fun out on the ship balcony, and
Yeah.
it was great.
That was really cool. In fact,
Formal nights.
Formal nights.
and we've got a couple. We got somebody renewing their vows on the Chris and Danny Burke. Oh, and you two. Do
Yeah,
I get
so-
to be the photographer for that?
so-
Oh my gosh!
You get to.
I get another title, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to interrupt what we do and just point a couple things out. Danny and Chris Burke, 35 years. Becky and Jim next year, 35 years.
Seventh
heaven, 35
Yeah.
years doing what they do,
It's a big
bringing
year.
the fans. It'll be a great, huge party next year.
Oh, for sure.
I guarantee you guys want to be there because it'll just be fun. What we do with the photos, once we get back, we don't do it right away. Everyone asks that, and when are you going to get the photos up? We kind of let everyone enjoy the week instead of looking for the photos and going, oh, this, all that, and then the next week we start posting them, and we post and wait a couple days for people to digest what we post, and then we do it again, post and wait a couple days. And Rich asked the question at the pre-cruise party, which happens before the ship goes out to sea. We do that every
In
year.
Chicago, we do that in Chicago.
In Chicago. But we post them on the Chicago Music Cruise Facebook page, and then we post them on a print order page. You can go to that page, order prints if you want. We can print up to 13 by 19 in-house. Outside, we can print up to the size of this wall if you want. That's the kind of photos that we take.
Scott on the flow rider.
Well,
Featuring
Scott on
his
his
bod.
balcony. Scott on his balcony.
Hey,
No one's seen
Oh,
those yet.
Oh,
Don't be below that balcony.
wow.
We also do some of the social media that's on the Facebook page. We're going to start a YouTube page for these videos going forward. So look for that YouTube live video coming up here probably the next month when we do this. We're going to do this once a month. It's going to be 1 hour. We don't want to go over an hour, so I know we're really close to being over an hour right now.
Oh, let's just talk forever.
So, but
I mean,
we could
So
talk
much
forever.
to,
That's
we have
the-
so much to say.
There is. So upcoming though, what we can talk about is we are going to do some special things. We're going to have band members come in and out. We'll have different team members come in and out. We're all not going to be here at the same time unless everyone wants to. But we'll
Well,
be.
we already have viewers that want to be here, so.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, and that's
So-
the other thing.
So there's a
somebody's-
contest,
Maybe for the
Richie.
last one. we
Yes.
can do a contest.
Yeah. Do a
Yeah.
contest?
There's a contest.
That's
Somebody
everybody's
suggested having a fan
Having a
Uh,
live
sit in
studio
with us.
audience.
Sure. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
or even a live studio audience.
Yeah, I saw that one come up too. Scott L. Asks if you will do boudoir shots and are they extra?
I won't do them, but Becky will. And yes, any of those.
Take her as a team.
If you need any backup, Becky, I'm there for you.
I got it covered.
Regalia.
They're called Costanza shots if they're a guy.
Costanza shots.
They're
I didn't know
called,
they even existed. What the hell is that?
I learned something new tonight.
they're called boudoir shots if it's a woman, but Becky does those and I go do something else. So
We do need to order more Fireball for Danny
yeah.
Burke because he's pretty much gonna
Next
wipe
year
the
for sure.
he's gonna wipe the ship out of the whole stuff. Probably day 2.
yeah, what 2 years ago we did that.
He did. We
Yeah.
oversold
Yeah.
like a couple liquor things. We have to tell him what to order. we need to double up.
Hey, Mike says he's in for pizza, and then Chad says he's bringing steaks. Hey, they're up on the ante here.
So I think by the summer, we move everything outside.
So one little idea that we had, and this came from Joey DeMarco. One year we were really hungry in the middle of the night, and when I'm like, I'm starving, and everyone, I'm hungry too. He's like, let's just call room service. We'll have them deliver it to the Royal Promenade, which is like the shopping mall. And so everyone's in line having pizza and cheese cakes on the stick, and all of a sudden this guy wheels in all this food, and I was like, what?
Huh?
And we're like all these meals, and everyone's like, where'd you get all that food? And we room services, so we did that almost every night this year.
Almost every night.
Every night we were in the Royal Promenade, and then he even got him to make a sausage pizza.
Yes.
Which they don't make.
Thank you.
Which they don't make.
It's a Chicago thing.
Mike Mushroom says, thanks a lot for the invite, guys.
Yeah.
He was sleeping.
There you go.
Yeah. We ate like kings at like midnight every night in the Royal Promenade.
And I think that's something to remember, that we have the stuff that we have on paper, but there's shenanigans that are going on 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
You'll figure out where and
Yeah,
when.
exactly.
You just follow certain people for certain things, and you'll get certain activities.
We don't charge extra.
No.
No,
Free.
it's included. Just follow this guy over there, and then there'll be a show.
It's called experience of a lifetime.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So I think we're done with today's
Do you have any
episode.
more? No
episode
more
one.
questions.
No.
No.
We can get to them next time or reply
Yep.
to them in comments as well. But
Sure.
let's get everyone here in the shot so we can all wave goodbye to our awesome fans that are out there. And you guys
Mary, you're gonna have to come
yeah,
over.
you two guys
Oh,
aren't
behind the
in the
scenes.
shot at all.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
Mary, you
Now
gotta
we're
be
on.
like,
There you go.
There we
there we
There
go.
we go.
Hey everybody, Chicago Music Cues 2020.
Stay warm. At least a couple days. It'll warm up.
It's all about good times and good people. Come on and join us. You won't regret it.
See you next time.
Awesome.
Sweet.
You guys can keep talking.
The after show.
Nice.
Right, just leave it running.
Becky's doing sign language right now.
Oh, now we get questions.
How much clothes to bring? How much cash?
Yeah.
You want to do some closeout questions?
Sure.
How much clothes to bring? How much cash?
You can be super conservative and go and lazy and just bring like 3 days and then do laundry midway through the ship
Right.
and the laundry service and not have to pack. I usually pack 6 to 7 days. You only 2 formal nights will happen in the week. Everything casual. Probably 2 bathing suits so one can dry while one's. Then you can also do laundry on the ship. And how much cash? Cash, I've gone on the ship with less than $500. I don't even think you even need that. Everything's paid for within your ticket and your tips. If you prepay your gratuities, then you really only need money to tip your porter guy if you want to give any extra tips. If you want to pay for a specialty restaurant, you do that on your card.
Yeah.
Comes off your credit card.
Or when you go on excursions,
But
if
if
you
you-
want to buy gifts or something.
Right.
Yeah,
If you get off the
and they
ship,
take credit cards.
And it's all duty free, so
Right.
it's tax free. So if somebody's gonna drop $3,000 on a watch, you do that in St. Thomas and don't pay tax. So a lot of people do that. Jewelry.
this one.
Yeah, see.
Yeah,
Nice.
that one.
Ta-da! Any other questions?
The ship actually does not take cash. Everything is through your credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have cash ready if you do get off the ship, because
Right,
if you go
for
to a straw
excursion.
market, and make sure that you bring small bills. Don't bring 20s and 50s, or you can go to the casino and cash them. But especially if you're going to get off the ship, you don't want to bring all that cash at the same time. So make sure you have small bills, 5s, 10s, things along those lines. Because
Or just borrow money from Scott, like I
or
said.
yeah, just borrow money.
Scott Savings and Loans.
I still owe him
That SSL.
Hey, can I borrow
Doug-
a buck? Can I borrow
Doug
a buck?
Lee really wants to be on the show next time,
Let's
so
go, Doug. Do you know that Doug and Lynette? I asked them to come for about 2 years, and they kept going, I don't know, and then finally I got them to go. I'm telling you, you're gonna have a great time. They had an amazing time on the ship, and that's what I want people to know. I mean, like, I don't bother people because I'm trying to be some salesman. I truly know it's one of the best things I've ever done in my life, and I want other people to experience that. So therefore, that's why I'm aggressively like, you need to go, because if I die tomorrow in my top 10 list of best things I've done while living on Earth, Group Cruises is in that top 10 without a doubt. And I've done some pretty cool things in my life so far. So I'm just telling you, and based upon the people that go on the cruises with us, I'd say 99 out of 100 would say that as well. You know, it's just that it's that much fun. It's such this rare in life that you get that much positive energy with people happy all the time for a whole week, enjoying themselves together, and you're bonding in such a different kind of way. And the stress is taken away. Everything's having fun, and everything's taken care of. You're having a good time.
With
Like
400
from the
friends.
weather.
With
Yeah.
400 friends, and hopefully, I'm hoping to get 450 to 500 this year. That would be a great goal for us to get to get to 450, 500, which I think we could do. The problem is we're going to lose those cheaper rooms, so that's why we're like, Paul and I are like, book
now.
put your money down before we're like, someone's like, oh, they'll be like, the rates aren't going to go that much higher, but they will go higher. We can save you some money right now if you grab our Scrooge space. So I'm holding $10,000 of my money is being held to keep that room, and they treat the price. It's kind of almost like a commodity, and when you lock it down, it stays at that rate because it is truly a commodity because the fuel charges also locks the commodity at that rate.
Cool. All right. See you guys.
See you,
See you next week.
ChicagoMusicCruise.com.
ChicagoMusicCruise.com.
Bye.
Book today. Book right now.
Don't wait.